Ethan gave her everything, his time, trust, and love. But what he got in return was horrible death. This is the story inspired by true events of how innocence met evil. In a quiet city, nestled between gentle hills and winding highways, lived a boy named Ethan. In his mid-20s, Ethan was the kind of person every teacher liked. Smart, disciplined, and focused. He was a top student in the university. But outside the classroom, he is reserved, introverted. He is the kind of guy who lived more in pages of books rather than in parties. And then came her, Maya. She didn't just walk into a room, she owned them. Beautiful, mesmerizing, effortlessly confident. The kind of girl who made hearts skip without even trying. They studied in the same class, but their lives, worlds apart. Maya struggled academically. No amount of charm could get her through final year projects. So when she saw Ethan's perfect scores, she found a way in. She asked for help. And Ethan, innocent, hopelessly romantic Ethan, he thought it meant something. He helped her study, rewrote her assignments, even completed her final dissertation. And somewhere between late-night tutoring sessions and library visits, he fell in love. Hard. But Maya, she only saw him as useful. After the graduation, Ethan landed a decent job. And then he did something bold. He proposed to Maya, but she didn't say a word, just smiled softly and walked away. Confused, Ethan turned to the only family she had left, her uncle. Maya's parents had died in a tragic car accident when she was just a child, leaving her in her uncle's care. Ethan sat with him, heart on his sleeve, and expressed his desire to marry her. The old man hesitated. His voice was gentle but weary, burdened by age and financial struggles. "I'm not sure I can give her the life she deserves," he admitted, but Ethan didn't back down. "I don't need anything from you, sir," he said, eyes firm. "All I want is her hand and your blessing." His own parents, they didn't approve. "She's not from our background. Too modern," they said. But Ethan stood firm. Eventually they gave in. The wedding happened. But Maya, she was never truly there. To her, Ethan was dull, a safe choice, a memory of a time she struggled and used him to survive. Shortly after, Ethan received a high-paying job offer abroad, an opportunity too good to refuse. He promised her, "Just a year, I'll return and we'll build our dream life." She smiled, nodded, waved him off at the airport. Inside, she felt nothing. Left alone, Maya began to spiral. People whispered, "Where's her husband? Why did he leave so soon?" The loneliness became unbearable. Then one day, as she walked through a crowded street market, she can hear, "Maya?" She turned. A man in his late 20s stood behind a juice stall. Warm smile, familiar eyes. "You know me?" she asked, confused. "Of course. I'm Jake. I used to live next door when we were kids." The name clicked. Jake, her childhood neighbor. Jake was striking tall, well-built, with a charm that was impossible to ignore. But it was his voice that truly captivated. Smooth, confident, and magnetic, he could hypnotize anyone with just a few words. They began talking. She shared her sadness, her loneliness, her cold, distant marriage. Jake listened, genuinely, patiently. Then he handed her a glass of juice. "This'll lift your mood," he smiled. She drank. Within minutes, she felt lighter, calmer, euphoric. The next day, she returned. "Same juice?" she asked. Jake leaned in. "It's not regular juice. I added something mild. Helps you forget sadness." Instead of alarm, Maya felt relief, and so began a secret addiction. The juice, the laughter, Jake. It became her escape. Soon their bond deepened. Late-night conversations turned into secret touches. Touches turned into something darker. They were addicted to each other, and to the high. Then one day, Ethan returned to establish his own company and has to take care of his parents. Ethan found his wife is distant, detached. It didn't take too long to discover the affair and find out about Jake. He confronted him, warned him, threatened him. Jake? He laughed. Ethan, desperate to fix things, moved to other city with Maya, bought land on the city's outskirts, started building his dream company, a new life, a fresh start. But Maya, she was already lost. She kept seeing Jake, in secret, in silence. And then, they formed a plan, a dark, deadly plan. One stormy night, Ethan didn't return home because deep in the backyard of his under-construction office, beneath layers of wet cement, lay a secret. Ethan, cut into pieces, buried, gone. Forever, Jake and Maya vanished. When they returned, Maya smiled, pretended everything was fine and lying about Ethan as he went on a business trip. But Ethan's parents, they knew something was wrong. No calls, no messages. They filed a missing person complaint. Police started digging, literally and figuratively. Phone records, CCTV, bank statements. All signs pointed to one chilling truth. Ethan was last seen with Maya and Jake. Maya was brought in. She cried, lied, pretended to be a grieving wife. But pressure has a way of cracking the strongest facades. Jake disappeared. Maya broke. During the third round of questioning, she confessed. The juice, the affair, the murder, the dismemberment. Jake planned the burial, the cement, the cover-up. Maya was arrested, but that wasn't the end. In prison, Maya became pale, weak, sick. The guards assumed it was stress, until she collapsed. Medical tests revealed the unthinkable. Stage 4 cancer, untreatable. But while she lay on a hospital bed, Jake, he was living under a new name, by the sea, desperate for money, until one careless call to an old friend gave him away. The police caught him. He laughed when told about Maya's illness. She was a puppet, he said. I just pulled the strings. In her final weeks, Maya asked for one thing, a letter to Ethan's parents. She wrote, I took your son from you, but in the end, it was myself I truly destroyed. They never replied. 3 months later, Maya died, alone, in a prison hospital. Jake remains behind bars, no visitors, no sympathy. And Ethan's dream company still stands on the edge of city, empty. No one dares to buy it because locals whisper on stormy nights. You can hear the sound of a woman crying, regretting a glass of juice that changed everything. As the prison cell doors closed forever on Jake and Maya's life faded away in a hospital bed, one thing became painfully clear. No crime ever goes unnoticed. What began as a cry for companionship turned into betrayal, addiction, and murder. In chasing temporary relief, Maya lost her future. And in manipulating others, Jake sealed his own fate. Ethan, a kind-hearted man who loved deeply, lost everything. And what for? A few stolen moments of pleasure? A desire to escape reality? This story is a chilling reminder that using someone for personal gain can destroy not just their life, but yours too. Love, when faked, becomes a weapon, and trust, once broken, never truly heals. If you're struggling with loneliness, depression, or emotional pain, seek help, not escape. Talk to someone. There is always a better way than silence, manipulation, or revenge. Because the truth is, a single wrong choice can turn a lifetime into a life sentence.
If you found this story haunting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling real-life inspired tales.